What's going on, guys? My name is Chicken Fingers. I am your friendly neighborhood commentator, and today we are playing Team Fortress 2 Engy style, of course. And today we're actually going to talk about the Engy, something I don't really do. I haven't done a commentary in a while, mainly because I've been riding the wave of Engy nerfs, as people have been telling me that's what they are. Yes, I agree, the Engy has been nerfed from what he was once looked at, but I think what people need to do is to realize that maybe doing the same old thing with Engy isn't where Valve wants us to go. These nerfs, and when I say nerfs, I use that in quotations, are more pushing us away from, well, I'm just going to sit here and hit my sentry with a ranch, and if I get in trouble, I'm going to Sigafu save it. People have been relying on that meta for so long, and I think that it's time to change it, and we need to make Engineer great again. And Valve is the only one who can really do this. I mean, obviously we can push Valve, we can give them influence. If you haven't seen, Valve has actually credited tons of people, including, if you guys do know, Uncle Dane, with fixing some things in the game that were broken. And Valve does listen, albeit they're not as talkative as some other companies might be. Hi-Rez comes to mind on one, but a lot of companies now are looking at their fan base and going, well, their fans are, just consider them testers. They're consistently playing the game, and they're breaking it down into the absolute finest points that you can get. So if Valve were to listen to me, which they never will, but if they were, this is what I would tell them if I had 5 minutes. First of all, here's the nerfs, in quotations, that Valve has given over the last few updates, from the tough break update, gunmetal update, things that have really affected the level 3 sentries. The nesting engineer has pretty much gone away, guys. The days of sitting there and nesting a level 3 you can do it, and in this video I do it pretty well, but it's completely thanks to my team. I play pretty well, I'm pretty aware, but that's the thing, is now engineers can't just sit there and ride it out. They have to be very mobile, very active, very forward thinking in order to keep a level 3 up, because it's so obvious now that it's a direct hit completely destroys us. Direct hits are absolutely shitting on level 3s, which I think they need a building damage nerf, but because it doesn't promote that kind of game. It doesn't seem like it promotes the game style that direct hits meant for, but that's a completely different subject for a different day. What I want to get into is I agree with changing the Engy. The Engy has become a very static and boring class that no one really wants to play, and one of the things that I thought that Valve should have apparently seen by now is that the engineer is defined by his buildings. That is what he brings to the battlefield. The dispenser, the sentry, the teleporters. This is what makes the engineer the engineer. And it's really upsetting and kind of confusing that they haven't touched the dispenser or the teleporters. Maybe they're afraid that they might make something overpowered, or they might make something crazy. But I mean, we had the Dead Ringer as it was for so long. I mean, come on, that changed Spy completely. He was allowed to be more aggressive and more reckless, which is completely counterintuitive to how the Spy should play. But they haven't touched Engy. Now, the things that, some ideas I've had, and I don't want to go into a full discussion about what I think they should have had to the game and get that clickbaity title out there, top 10 items or whatever, top 10 TF2 and updates. I kind of want to just talk about, the thought of making the engineer where he is now. He's more mobile, for one. Obviously, he's encouraged to build faster, move his gun more, and be more reactive to pushing rather than just a static defense. And he's squishy. He's really squishy. He's unbelievably squishy now. So I would think they would play off more of him into a support role rather than the defense role that we kind of look at him at. And giving him like a teleporter option where he can put 2 teleporter exits down that they share health, so that if one's destroyed, they're both destroyed. But it would allow players to select where they wanted to go on the battlefield. So say the enemy team, like here on this map, Badwater, they're pushing out the end of tunnel. Well, you want to go to the end of tunnel, but say they're also going to, they're pushing up cliff. You could build another teleporter by pack, and they can come out by pack and spam over cliff or rock or whatever you want to call it on the other side of the map. And the dispenser, I've always thought, would be a nice idea. It would be like a force field that you couldn't that sentries couldn't shoot through, that your sentry couldn't shoot through, but your team could, and that would really make the engineer help move his team in a direction, because that's what the engineer's always been about. We're going to hold here because my sentry's here. You're going to go here because my teleporter's here. You're going to hover here because my dispenser's here. These are just the things that the engineer brings to the battlefield, and I hope that Valve allows him to be more dictative of what is going on in the game in terms of meta, in terms of holding, and in terms of where the fights are being had. So that's just my picks, guys, my choice. I don't know exactly how it would play out. You know, obviously there's a lot of variables here that I'm not addressing, and I just hope Valve kind of sees that in the engineer's potential to be more of a backliner that can just say, hey, let's go over here, or let's do this, and let's hold here, and be more of a support character rather than this defense character that he used to be. And that's all I really have, guys. My name's Chicken Fingers, your friendly neighborhood commentator, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Peace out.